Today's morning coffee vinyl side, Eastman Symphonic Wind Ensemble, Frederick Fennell conducting, Marches for Twirling, 1957. Few wind ensembles are as celebrated as the Eastman Wind Ensemble, and few wind ensemble conductors are spoken of with the reverence reserved for Frederick Fennell. A veritable musical wunderkind and Eastman School of Music graduate, Fennell joined the Eastman staff in 1939 after finishing both his undergraduate and graduate degrees there in 37 and 39 respectively. As a young drum percussionist, Fennell was put forward many times for prestige positions and opportunities with notable orchestras, and was even conducted by John Philip Sousa as a youth. As a drummer, he was obsessed with marching bands, and was already conducting by the age of 17, at Interlochen no less. Now, during his graduate studies at Eastman, Fennell was awarded a fellowship and sent to the Mozarteum Salzburg to study under German conductors Herbert Elbert and Wilhelm Furtwängler. Furtwängler was perhaps the 20th century's greatest symphonic and operatic conductor. Used by the Nazis in their propaganda machine to bolster Germany's reputation and self-image as leaders in the arts, Furtwängler had been an early critic of Hitler and the Nazi regime, specifically resistant to the policy of culling prominent Jewish artists and performers from arts institutions. A backroom deal with Goebbels was reached in the mid-30s that allowed Furtwängler to remain apolitical, but secured his commitment to remain in Germany as the war was looming, enjoying access to his family and privileged life that many considered a devil's bargain. It was in this period that Furtwängler curiously met several times with Frederick Fennell at Salzburg. During the war, Fennell served as National USO Music Advisor and pursued more studies alongside the likes of Leonard Bernstein and other prominent musical figures. Let's just say Fennell was curiously active during the war years and seemed to be in all the right places at all the right times, making important political and social connections. The Eastman Wind Ensemble was conceived of by Fennell after the war as a more nimble and elite, stripped-down, wind-centric orchestra that would allow for more challenging music to be undertaken by higher-caliber musicians, think virtuosic, each with assigned individual parts. The ensemble was the perfect platform to capture higher fidelity from recordings and pioneer new recording techniques, including early stereo experiments that better represented the spatial aspect of audio and the live orchestra experience. This album is notable in that the quality of the music and the captures outclasses the rather funny title, Marches for Twirling. It's much more than that. Now, the EWE inspired many copycats, most notably the culturally significant Tokyo Kosei Wind Ensemble, established in 1960. Interestingly, Fennell would become Tokyo Kosei's lead conductor in 1984 and finish out his career as their musical director. Now, I find it curious that Fennell bookended his career with residencies in the two countries that were the most prominent members of World War II's Axis powers, and it makes me wonder, just what was Fennell up to in Germany in 1938? And what was his relationship to the development of cultural institutions after the war in post-imperial Japan? Now, I'm not suggesting anything, certainly nothing I have time or space to develop here, but I do find Fennell's career quite compelling as I dig a little bit into who he was and where he was and when he was there. Stranger things have certainly proven to be true, but I wouldn't be amiss in suggesting there's a lot more to Frederick Fennell than we can read on his Wikipedia page.